Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we've got a really short one for you. It's a really important theme. It's theme number one within our five themes, so you should take notes on that piece of paper with the dude's face on it. And today we're talking about regions. And a region is the area of Earth defined by one or more distinctive characteristics. The best way to think of it is to think place, like we define place, but over a large area. So if we think about the type of place in, again, South America, this might be a mountain region. Even though this could be and is more than one country, this is a single region. We might say a mountainous region. In this case, it's physical. It could also be cultural, right? Let's say everybody in this area was super duper racist or something. I don't think they are. I should have picked a better example. Super duper happy. Well, we would call this the happy region. Now, are we concerned with the borders? No, we're concerned with the idea. So the region is something that can cross countries and borders, and isn't confined to the way we've been defining things. So this might be like a water region. See how it's affected by the water. Those would be geographical regions. This is a coastal region. So they're all coastal. They're defined by a similar characteristic. I wish I wouldn't have said everyone in South America was racist. Anyway. Oh, so there's three types of regions. The first, we're gonna skip right ahead. The first is a formal region or a uniform region. You need to know both words, so make sure you're writing both down and studying both. And a formal region is a distinct area in which all people share one or more common characteristic. So if you think about California, it's distinct in that we all share the identity of Californians, but we do have a distinct difference. When you're in Nevada City, even if you're right next to California, you're going to you're in the Nevada region, right? You're going to have a Nevada personality. So a formal region is anything that you can define and you can prove it, right? You can prove this region. If you take a look over here on the map, hopefully you can see my mouse. Oh, maybe I should be doing this. Anyway, if you take a look over here on my mouse, you'll see that the Western region, if we are talking about voting, this would be a Democratic region. Now, they cross some borders, but you can see that this is a well-defined and easy to pinpoint and supported by evidence region. You can see that a majority of people in each of these states supported Barack Obama in the last election or the previous election, and so we can call this a region. Cool? It can be physical. It can also be cultural, as long as it's defined by a common characteristic and is a distinct area, so you can trace the borders. The second type of region is what's called a functional region, or you've heard me use the term nodal. I like nodal better because it helps to remember. But it's any region organized around a node or focal point, or a functionality, and we'll get into that in a second. It's a little harder to define, and it usually has a distribution. Notice how there's more here and less here, but it's focused around a thing or a place or a node. In this case, we're looking at the distribution of, or we're going to call this the Mormon region. So this is the region of Mormons, and you can see that it's focused around Salt Lake City, but it extends out beyond different states. So you can't really define it by a distinct boundary, but you can say like, oh, I know where the node is, so this region generally is where we're going to find most of the United States Mormons. Here, if you look at the map of the United States in yellow, this would be a nodal region for, and if you recall, this is our black population in the United States. They're the majority of, and we know the issues with this particular map, right? But we have a nodal grouping here in these states, and then they kind of spread out from there. It has a central node. Easy. It's called a functional region sometimes because usually it's connected to a function, and that's really hard to kind of grasp, but a function is something people use or need. Think of like a radio tower or a cell tower or something like that. In this case, this is a train depot or a train line, and so you would imagine people who live close to this are going to use this train line more. So the train users would be spread out from this line, and you could say, hey, this is a train user functional region. There are more people use the function of the train the closer they live to it. So that's a tricky thing. You need to know both, unfortunately, functional and nodal. The third is vernacular or perceptual region. Easiest to remember is perceptual. Vernacular used to mean like the way you speak, and now it's a different word, but it's a perceptual region. And this is an area people believe exists, and we know it from our cultural identity. This over here is 50 different drawings by 50 different geographers when someone said you need to draw the Midwest. So look, they're all very similar, but you'll notice each one is slightly different, right? It's informal. It's not scientific. It's sort of the idea of a place. If we said the South, technically the South is everything south of the middle of the United States, but we know we're talking about this. The South is a very famous perceptual or vernacular region. It lives in your head. Easy? I hope you were taking notes. This is good stuff. We're going to take a look, and you're going to have to draw some regions tomorrow, but you guys are going to rock this. Good work. Good night. Hopefully you're studying for your test. This was a short one. See ya.